Hey everybody.
Fatbirdfinds here.
I'm Mary Beth.
And I'm Laura.
Laura, it's the podcast again.
Welcome to the podcast.
Here we are.
We're back.
We're back. So the last time we did the podcast, we were doing Frankenstein.
Yep.
That's been a while.
Yeah. What was it? Did we end in like December?
Yeah, November, December.
Yeah.
We took December off.
That's true. So
it's probably the end of November.
Wow. It's been 2 months.
It's been a while since we've been with you.
3.
But welcome to the Put Out Closet. It's Tales from the Put Out Closet, and this is the podcast. This is the news.
This is it. We're going to try a little bit of a new format.
Yeah. So I think our agenda for the day is we're just going to chat for a little while, see how our week has gone. We have some voicemails that we're going to answer. We're excited about those.
That's right.
And then, so the voicemails I just barely just read the transcript to make sure they weren't naughty or something. So I think we're good.
I started to say we can't blindly put them on here just in case we have some sort of a troll.
So I went through them just enough to know that I think that they're safe. So we'll do those. We'll answer those.
Okay.
And then at the end, maybe we'll end with some current events.
I think that's great.
What do you think of that?
I think it's awesome.
So I don't know about Laura, but I've had an awesome week.
You certainly have. I've had an awesome week in a different way, but by all means, maybe you should start.
I'll start.
I don't know. Maybe we should save the best for last. Maybe you should finish.
I don't know. I think I'll start.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Of course.
So this week, Laura went to go visit Max, her grandson, which was very awesome for her.
Yes. Super fun.
I get notifications sent to me on Facebook when things are posted for sale in Paducah or in the surrounding area. And so I was browsing on Facebook and I see I'm getting a phone call. It's fine. So I'm browsing on Facebook to see, what's happening. And I get recommended this post. And it's phenomenal. It's so good. So
I don't even have the patience for Facebook Marketplace because it's just trash.
Well,
most of the time.
It's hit and miss because sometimes it's really awesome, but then sometimes you get paired with a person that's not a good communicator. They answer weird English. It's not, I don't know. Sometimes it's just really not a good experience.
Weren't you showing me a TikTok of this, this crazy...
This guy, he makes fun of Facebook Marketplace experiences. Yes. But I just had a bad experience. This lady had posted this beautiful swung vase and this Viking ashtray. And I said, I'm really interested. She was like, okay. I said, how much? She told me. I said, awesome. Can I come on Saturday? And then I didn't really hear from her anymore. And then I got this message that was like, I've kind of decided that I kind of need to get more money for this and whatever. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but
sheesh.
Come on, man. So anyway, I had a bad taste in my mouth about this Facebook Marketplace experience because of the last one that happened last week. Mm-hmm. So I reach out to the lady and I'm like, I'm really interested. What are your prices? What does it look like? And she goes, yeah, you can come by whenever. She said, I'm not really sure about prices. She said, I'm still unpacking this stuff. And I don't know. And I'm like, ugh. Because it was an hour and a half away.
You went without knowing how much she was going to ask for it?
I did.
Come on.
It was an hour and a half away. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to drive that far if everything's going to be loaded expensive. But on her Facebook post, the first word was dealers, exclamation point. And so I was like, well, if she's planning on selling to dealers, surely she knows she's not going to get top dollar. That was my thought. So I was
that's a good assumption.
So I was like, surely it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So I messaged her back and forth a few more times to get the address and a time and everything. And I did it one more time. I said, can you just give me a ballpark? What sort of prices you're thinking of? And she goes, I really can't. I'm just, I'm not going to sell them all at a low price, a big bulk price. And she said, I'm just selling them piece by piece. And I just don't know. I don't know what to ask for these things.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, all right.
That's my pet peeve.
So I just held my breath, drove my hour and a half down there, met with her. And Laura, it was the best haul of either of our lifetimes.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
So go back, do yourself a favor, go back to Friday's episode of Flippin' and Sippin'. We're going to show that amazing haul. Is the best haul ever. Swung vases.
I don't know. I mean, I missed the part where you didn't know how much it was going to be when you went.
I had no idea.
When you drove that far.
I had no idea. I mean, the whole way, Nikki rode with me. The whole way, I'm like, yeah, this may be nothing. We may come home with nothing.
Well, and the hell of it is, we just spent a whole lot of money at a really good estate sale the week before. And you can watch that video as well.
Yes.
And so, you've been telling me, Laura, we can't spend any more money.
No more money. We can't spend any more money. Plus, we're going to Vegas at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Laura, we can't spend any more money. And she's like, okay, but I'm the one that keeps doing this.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. The part that you had no idea of the price. Like, it wasn't that it was super cheap and you were going to drive all that way. But you know, and if it was me and you hadn't told me not to spend any money, I wouldn't have been worried about how much it was. So that wouldn't be a surprise.
Right.
But I'm surprised that you drove all that way without knowing how much it was going to be.
I was a little scared, I have to say. But it was an awesome experience. She was incredibly nice. She was incredibly generous with her prices. And I couldn't be more thrilled. I mean, here's the bad part. As I feel this much guilty, you know how I am. You know how I am about things.
Yes.
I could have gotten so much more, but I started feeling bad, I think, that I felt like she was giving me these great prices and I wanted her to be able to make some money on some things if she wanted to get higher prices for them. So a couple of things, you know, I said, would you take this? And a couple of things she said, no, I want to try to get more. And I just dropped it. I didn't bargain anymore. I wanted her to get her money. She was a really nice person. So hopefully she gets tons of money for her other stuff. But
aren't you nice?
I was scooped just a little bit. So somebody had already been there and gotten a few pieces of Blanco that were to die for, like genie bottles that were just absolutely to die for. So I really wanted to get those, but I think that whoever did get those did pay top dollar for those. So anyway.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, as hot as swung vases are, which we got a lot of those, I think the genie bottles are a little hotter at the moment.
I think so.
Just price-wise. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, I think people know that they're expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas people, if don't collect swung vases, you don't really know how expensive those are just yet. So I'm just saying, you know, you probably couldn't have helped that. She probably did get top dollar for the bottles.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were the really unique ones, the really modern looking ones, like that are really shaped pretty with the beautiful elongated stoppers. So she had really good stuff. She had like an over 30-inch vase that I passed on. She wanted a little bit more money than I was willing to pay. It was really pretty too. And she had tons more little stuff, like plates, cups, dishes. She just had tons of stuff. And I believe she said that it was her mom's collection that she was trying to sell and get rid of. It was beautiful stuff.
That's the way you buy it.
Yeah. She had a Viking bird, you know, the long one with the tail, and a really, really pretty Murano bird that she said she was going to keep because she did want to keep a few things that were her mom's, but obviously she said she couldn't keep all of it. So,
did she have any mushrooms?
No mushrooms. It was all glass.
I know, but that's what I mean. It's the Viking glass mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm with you. You said mushrooms, and I was remembering our ceramic mushrooms that we just got. No mushrooms. No, I would have been all over that.
Because that's just another piece. Like, besides the swung vases, people, when they find some epic find, it usually has the mushrooms in there too.
Yes. So how was your week? How was Max?
Oh, Max is fantastic. You know, he is 18 or 19 months old, running around. You know, it took him a long time to walk, but now he's running everywhere. Just having a grand old time.
That's awesome.
So we had a great time, a great week. Well, it wasn't a whole week, but a great few days, and no shopping because you told me not to spend any money.
No shopping.
So I guess thank goodness, because then you could go spend the money.
Well, yeah. I mean, if one of us was going to get an awesome haul, I'm glad it was me.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
So I FaceTimed Laura when I got home. I was all very disheveled looking, and I had just unloaded it all and put it out on the table, and I FaceTimed her, and I was like, hey. She's like, hey. And I was like, guess what I just did? And she's like, what? And I said, I just went on a Facebook Marketplace adventure. I bought something. What did you think I had bought?
A dog.
You thought I got a dog from Facebook Marketplace?
Well, we always kid around about that. Like, whenever you got your dog, you had to go 2 hours to get the dog.
True.
And so when we kid around about going on a trip, we're like, you want to get a dog?
You want to get a puppy? So, is that really what you thought?
Yes.
No. I didn't.
Katie thought so too. Katie was sitting there with me when I answered. She's like, did they get a dog? Did she get a dog?
I think that's funny. That's the first thing you thought of.
Yeah.
I can't have a dog. Dixie doesn't like puppies.
Oh, that's why I was shocked.
So, yeah. And then I flipped the camera around, and Laura's face, she was just like, it was so funny.
When you say you're going to go get something off of Facebook Marketplace, it's not that.
No, never. It's never that.
I think we should show them one picture.
Well, we can't.
On the podcast. Well, I can hold it up.
Well, you'd have to really hold it up. The camera's too far away.
Okay.
You'll just have to go back.
She's gonna make you go back and see the video.
Yeah, you're going to have to go back and watch Flippin' and Sippin' from last week. All right, so shall we get into some voicemails?
Yes.
Are you excited?
I think we should do it.
So we opened up our phone number to get some voicemails. It's a Google Voice number. So the idea is, and we want to continue this, that you can call us, leave us a voicemail, and we will do our best to answer it here on the podcast.
Do you want me to give the phone number?
Do you have the phone number?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember our phone number.
You don't have it memorized yet?
I don't. Apparently you don't either if you're having to look it up.
I don't.
I will tell you that it is in the description of the video, so you can access it that way. You can call us anytime. The phone number will go straight to voicemail, and then you can just leave us a voicemail, and yeah.
I was like, what are all these blank spots on my phone? Is Max taking pictures with the phone laying down on the table? I've always wanted to do this.
Okay.
Yeah. Our number is 731-335-6108.
You've always wanted to give out your phone number?
No, it's like I used to listen to the radio in the mornings, every morning, taking the kids to school. And they had a call-in show on the radio talk show. And they all did the phone number. And
You're on with Laura and Mary Beth here
Yes.
on Electric 96.9.
Exactly.
That's funny. All right, so there's our phone number. It's in the description of the video. Call us, leave us a voicemail, and we'll answer it if it's appropriate. We might answer it if it's not.
That's right. That's true. Or, I mean, and it could be a story, and it could be funny questions. I've got a funny question later for us if you want to.
Okay.
That'll be a good example of that. But we did get some phone calls.
Yeah, we did. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's hop into it. Just a reminder.
I'm pretty excited.
Just a reminder, when I'm playing the voicemail, you can't talk over it because nobody will hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, so our microphones are going to be muted when we listen to the voicemail.
Okay, and as another reminder, if you've just happened upon our podcast, by pure accident, we have a YouTube channel.
We do.
The call-in number has been given to all of our subscribers.
Yes.
And they know about Flippin' and Sippin' and, all of our stories and things like that. And so if you think that you've walked in the middle of something and we're referring to something, maybe you have. So just,
Maybe you have.
maybe you need to call and clear that up with us.
That's great. All right, you ready to get to the first one?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Microphones are muted, so don't start talking.
Okay.
Hi, this is Linda Hicks from Dallas, Texas, and I've been listening since almost the beginning. I've enjoyed your programs, and some of my favorites were when you found the slides and kind of made up a story about that family And then when you trace the family tree of the people for the cards that you found, I've also enjoyed the crafts and the cooking and everything. I think to start the podcast, it would be great if you could just remind us about how you met. I know you've talked about it many times, but so many new listeners, and just a few cute stories about things that have happened to y'all through your friendships. Thanks again. Excited about the podcast starting up. Take care. Bye.
Well, wasn't that adorable?
Oh my gosh. They're going to think we scripted that.
We didn't.
Linda, that was like perfection.
We didn't.
Like, how could we start with a better call in than that?
Yeah. Linda Hicks.
Did you do your technology that I was supposed to remind you to do?
We're good. We're back.
Okay.
They can hear us.
Okay. So, Linda, thank you so much. How perfect.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Linda has named all the kind of, what I would think would be the more obscure episodes.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so too.
So, and some of them go far enough back that a lot of you guys that have been listening, even if you're loyal listeners recently, you might not know these. So the slideshow was awesome.
The slideshow was awesome. So Laura and I were doing a private pick in a garage. And we were just
one of our first ones.
One of our very, very first ones. Man, we should go back and try to reference some of these videos in the description.
We should. Because
oh, wow. We'll really have to search for them, though.
That private pick is the one where when we did the video, we weren't used to doing videos, and I was just kind of mortified with myself. And I said, "See you there."
That's right.
And that's the one you tease me about all the time. See you there.
See you there. Oh my gosh, that's great. So we were doing the private pick, and there was this huge stack of slides. And I was like, should we take these? And Laura's like, I don't know. I was like, let's just do it. And we did. And they sat in Laura's house, like in a corner forever before we could ever figure out what to do with them.
Yes.
And so then we figured out how to set up the slide projector.
I think you tinkered with it. You fixed it. Like it wasn't really in working order.
Yeah. All those slides. That was really fun.
Oh, yeah. Because it turned out, we could see that the slides were pretty interesting. Like at least they were vintage. They were like, it looked like maybe my childhood or something.
Right. So, yeah, that was a really good one. We were making up stories about them. Remember, I think we had a whole story about one of the people in the pictures. It was
and it was just like we were talking about it, popping popcorn and sitting there and just like having a slideshow with everybody, like doing your home movies or home slides.
Yeah.
And everybody ended up really thinking that was a ton of fun.
Nikki, will you write us a note to try to go back and find that episode so we can reference it?
Yeah.
So, in addition to that, she also mentioned the episode where we did trace the family tree.
Yes.
So Laura and I had been traveling. We were in Evansville, Indiana. We pulled over on a whim at this
total
place.
Whim.
It was sort of like a flea market-y place, but they were also having like a swap meet type thing outside with tables.
That's the way I think they should do all flea markets. P.S. by the way.
Yeah.
They call them car boot sales in England, right? People just open the trunk of their car or put, back in your pickup truck. And that's what they were doing outside of this regular flea market. On Saturdays, they sold $20 spots.
Yeah.
And let people do that. Somebody should do that around here.
Yeah. So Laura got this big stack of like ephemera cards.
Yeah.
Or was it Valentine's? No, it was cards.
No, they were cards.
It was all cards.
But, I could tell by the top couple that they were all like from 50s and 60s.
Yeah. So one night we set up a whiteboard, went through all these letters, tried to establish a family tree for all of these people. It was a lot.
Yeah, and we just kind of came up with it because when we were driving home, I was like playing with all of our, just looking through all the stuff because we were bored. We've been driving before that a long time even, and I was like reading them out loud to Mary Beth. She's about to get annoyed, and then all of a sudden, and then she was kind of started joining in, and she's like, "Oh, that was what was her name? What was the girl's name? Do you remember?"
I don't remember.
Because they were,
it was something cool like Genevieve or Geneva or something.
Yeah.
Was it with a G? Gwendolyn?
I don't think it was Gwendolyn, but I think a G is right. And
I don't remember.
And she signed the cards, my gal, so and so.
My gal. That's right. I can't believe you remember that.
So we thought that was so cute. And then we discovered that we were seeing the same signatures and names. And I was like, oh my God, all these are from the same person.
Yeah.
They're not random. They're somebody's like, did your grandmother stick all her cards in a drawer somewhere? But
yes.
yeah. And so somebody had
I can see the drawer they were in the bathroom. In the bathroom. In the bathroom. She had a bottom drawer.
She just had an extra drawer.
Mm-hmm. That's where her cards were. Sure enough.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I have a drawer now, actually, in that big
you?
white hutch that has almost all of my cards.
Well, there you go.
So that's what somebody did. They were just packing up their, grandma's stuff or whatever. And then, so all of them were right there.
We'll try to reference that video too.
Yeah, you guys would really like that. If you haven't seen that one, you would really like that one. It was funny.
Yeah.
Because we ended up, people got on and Googled and found the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they figured out who it was because they
Yeah.
knew where, I guess we had the postmarks. The next time we do that, I think we won't share the locations.
Yeah.
Because those people might not have wanted to be found.
True.
And we didn't encourage contacting them or anything like that. But anyway,
True.
It was all very fun.
It was fun. I really enjoyed that.
I'm glad you liked that one, Linda.
So Linda asked, how did we meet?
Oh, and also Linda liked the cooking episode.
Oh, yeah. Is that when we made the puff corn?
We had two. We've actually
we
had
made
two.
a cake.
Uh-huh.
We made an apple cake once.
You
too.
made your famous apple cake.
Yeah.
Because Katie Vintage and Vinyl did Friendsgiving or whatever, and everybody shared a recipe.
Yeah. That was fun. And then we did one once where we did puff corn.
Yeah.
We should do that more often. In fact, I got this wild hair. It was several weeks ago that I wanted to make pork chops. I like pork chops and like applesauce, that sort of thing. But I had it in my mind that I wanted to do something.
Pork chops and applesauce.
That was pork choppy and applesaucey. And so I just went to the store and I just looked up on my phone, pork chops and apples. And I clicked the first recipe that came up. And I got every ingredient that was listed. And I came home. I'm not a cook, by the way. I'm not very good at it. And so I'm reading the instructions and I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Nikki was at a meeting. She was out late and Laura was coming over anyway. And so Laura comes in the door. I'm like, I need help. I was like, I've got these instructions. We've got to cook this.
She's like, do you think we can do it? I was like, I'm pretty sure we can.
Yeah. But anyway, it was ridiculous because I'm not very smart and I didn't scroll to the very bottom. So it didn't give us measurements for the ingredients.
Yeah, who knew? Like I rarely ever use a recipe on my phone because it annoys me to have to look at it that way. So I didn't know that all these home recipe vlog things talk about the recipe and hint at the recipe.
I didn't either.
Before you have to keep going past all these ads to get the actual things. Because I was like, Mary Beth, it doesn't say how much to put in there.
Right.
She's like, no, it doesn't.
So part of the recipe was making this caramelized sort of apple goo in the bottom that you kind of coat over the pork chops. And I was like, you think that's enough? Laura's like, I don't know. I think we need more. So we were just making it up. It was really good though. But anyway, we were in about 10 minutes and I was like, we really should have been videoing this. That would have been really funny because we were ridiculous. Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah. So glad you like that too, Linda.
Maybe we can have a cooking episode be part of the podcast series. Maybe that might be fun.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
you can send a recipe. You can call in a recipe.
Call in a recipe.
Or email
it to us. We need to be able to read it.
Yeah. And please tell us how much
we'll
is
have
in
to
there.
listen back to it 20 times. Now, how many teaspoons did she say? So how did we meet though?
We met at work.
Yeah.
Schrader.
The end.
Oh, you're handing that one over to me?
Yeah.
So, you're a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am not, my school is to be a teacher. So
Right.
that has nothing to do with me getting this job. But anyway, I decided that I wanted to leave. I was working at Michael's Arts and Crafts when when it first opened here in Paducah.
Manager.
Yeah.
Manager.
And I decided that was not for me. That's a by the way, very hard, grueling, really, job. The retail hours are awful. Kudos to you guys that do that. Now, I was skinny when I was doing that because it was such hard work. The store's huge. You just had to run back and forth all day long. Trucks came in at 5 a.m. We'd have to get there about 4:30, on truck day. Anyway, very hard work. So I went for something else. And so I started working at the quilt show office here. So Paducah,
Quilt City, USA.
Where we live is Quilt City, USA. And they have one place, and also it was a publishing company. Mm-hmm. And that's how they started with the quilt show business, I think.
Yeah.
Because they published all kinds of antique collector guides.
Yeah, oddly enough, the publishers that we worked for, Collector Books, published tons and tons of books about the things that we're collecting now.
It is kind of an odd
it's really
coincidence.
Come full circle, which is very interesting.
Right. So anyway, that's how we met. We did, then their quilting books and magazines led into having quilt shows, which they were just having in Paducah, and then all of a sudden started having them at other places in the country. And so when we did a quilt show, it was like a week-long trip, and everybody from the offices went. And anyway, when you travel and stuff like that, you tend to get to know people a little better than if you're just sitting at a desk all day.
That's true.
So that's it. That's how we met.
That's it.
And you guys were already...
I didn't like you, by the way, when you started.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I can elaborate.
Okay.
So when Laura started, I hadn't been out of college super long. And
she was a baby.
I hadn't been out of college super long, and I was art major. And so, I was fresh off of my art history classes and learning about Rome and all the art and all the beautiful things to see and all this and that. Well, Laura's daughter was coincidentally going to Rome or was in Rome or something right around the time Laura started.
Yeah, they were there with the owner of the company.
Oh yeah, that's right. Coincidentally. And so, you know how you are when you're the new person there, you're trying to find something to talk to people about. Right.
And so I just kept talking about
Laura
that.
just talked about it all the time. She was like, "Oh, my daughter's in Rome. She loves it. And she went to this place today and that place. Oh, she's in Rome. Oh, I heard from Kay today. She's in Rome." And I was just over there in my cubicle going, bleh. I was jealous. Really, because I wanted to be in Rome. But anyway, that's a funny little tidbit. Good times.
Yes, our age difference is how much?
I don't know. Several
years.
You're the one that doesn't like to talk about that.
So you were a very, to yourself, young,
aloof
person with your little graphic design world.
Remember
over there.
I used to dress in that
cubicle.
place? I used to dress like a weirdo. I would come in there with plaid shorts on and a striped black and white shirt underneath another shirt.
Yeah, and you tried to be so emo. Your hair was really dark like mine. And you were just like...
Anyway, this is
you were
really
just
digressed.
really like this all the time.
Linda Hicks, thank you so much for your question. We're going to move onward.
Okay,
I'm muting, so don't start talking.
Oh, don't mute.
I have to listen to the voicemail.
Okay.
Hi, girls. This is Heather from Antique Agenda, and I prepared something for you, so here goes. Dirty Fern and Ruth Ann walk into a bar. Dirty Fern is holding a box of uranium glass. Ruth Ann has a lobster under one arm and a behemoth swung vase under the other. The look on their faces say they mean business. The two women quickly approach the bartender and place everything on the counter. The bartender raises an eyebrow and asks, "Evening, ladies. Do you mind me asking why all this stuff is here on the bar?" Dirty Fern looks at Ruth Ann. Ruth Ann looks at Dirty Fern. They both look at the bartender and explain the very long day they've had at an estate sale, elaborating on self-proclaimed gatekeepers with fake numbers, long lines, frenzied crowds, and no hold tables. When they were done with their tale, the bartender said, "Well, ladies, you certainly have had quite a day. Let me buy you a drink." Dirty Fern and Ruth Ann both look him dead in the eye and say, "Well, that's very kind of you, but what we really need is your Wi-Fi password because it's 9 p.m. and it's time for flippin' and sippin'." The bartender then backs away, but before he leaves, he glances at the lobster on the counter. And the lobster looks back at him and says, "I don't need a drink, but I could use some crushed ice. Do you have an ice maker?" Love you, girls. Bye.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Heather, come on.
Heather, how long did it take you to write all that out?
That's so great.
The question is, do you think she wrote all that out, or do you think that was just on the fly?
Oh, she wrote it out.
That was awesome.
Surely she wrote that down.
That was fantastic.
Oh, that was so good. That had a whole bunch of back references.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's just name them really quick. We don't have to talk about every single one, but
Dirty Fern, that's Laura's alter ego. That came from when we were doing decoupage.
Crafting, which Linda Hicks said she liked the crafting episodes too.
And you were like antiquing your fern on your picture. And I was like, I don't remember. Something about your fern is dirty.
Yeah.
Dirty
exactly.
Fern. Yeah.
And people just in the chat picked up on it.
Ruth Ann being my alter ego, and that came from our postal worker thought our names were Laura and Ruth Ann.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
Yeah, that was, so you've held on to Ruth Ann for a while.
That's true.
So then because you referenced Ruth Ann in the crafting segment or something. So now Ruth Ann's related to the crafting.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my alter ego when I'm crafting because I'm doing my best.
Yes.
Yeah. Ruth Ann tries really hard.
Ruth Ann's doing her best.
Mm-hmm. And then we have references in there about Nikki's lobster. From
yes.
the Pictionary episode.
From the Pictionary episode, which is a great episode to watch. When Nikki drew a lobster.
And then a lot of those references were from our past estate sale that we went to. Best estate sale we've ever been to for mid-century.
Yeah, so you'll have to look at that. That's just a recent one. And
yeah.
so if you want to hear the fake number story, that's where that one comes from.
That was really good, Heather.
Heather, that was so good.
Thank you for your voicemail. That was great.
Awesome.
All right, you ready to go to the next one?
Yes.
All right, I'm muting.
Okay.
Laura likes to talk when
there's something just spurs me on. Oh, wait.
I'm muted.
You did already?
No.
Oh. It just reminded me that the crushed ice at the very end of the joke is because we play the ice maker. Mm-hmm. People make fun of the fact that they can hear how loud the ice maker is on Flippin' and Sippin'. So now ice maker is like for super chats and stuff.
Indeed.
Can you play it on here?
No. It's the wrong setup. Don't ask me to do stuff.
Okay.
I'm muting you.
Okay.
Hello, Mary Beth, Laura, and Nikki. This is Nettie. My question is, if you could go thrifting anywhere in the world, where would you go? All right. Bye.
Nettie,
hi.
Hey, Nettie.
Oh my gosh, it's almost like they're here.
I know. Go thrifting anywhere in the world. Well, I mean, I'm really jealous of like wherever Midmont Marion is coming up with all of her stuff.
Wherever she goes.
Well, I'm going to follow her around.
Okay, so I think with like my pick's going to be like in the anywhere in the world part. I would just love to go to like the big famous, Paris flea market.
True.
Yeah.
But
really where I'm dying to go is Pennsylvania or Michigan, because those are the best Goodwill places that I've ever seen all these people.
You think it's better than like out west?
Well, and Oregon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like where Laura Caldwell thrifts.
Laura loves Laura Caldwell.
I do.
That was
I do.
That was a fun story too.
It really was.
We were at the Springfield flea market, and we knew Laura Caldwell was going to be there. And we had only been there like 5 minutes, and we see this like vision of flowing beauty just like waltz past us, and Laura's like, "That was Laura Caldwell." And I was like, "Go talk to her."
And I was dying because she literally looked like she just walked off of a magazine.
She really
cover
did.
For thrifting at a flea market. I mean, she had her sun hat on with her boho scarf. She had the flowy, you know, Stevie Nicks looking floral shirt with the fringed vest. She had all of her turquoise on that she collects, and her nails were done even to look like turquoise.
It made a big impact on Laura's life.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Laura's still fangirling.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It really wasn't fine, but
Thank
it
you,
was
Nettie.
embarrassing.
Thank you, Nettie.
Nettie, thank you so much.
Great question. All right, I'm going to the next one.
Okay.
Hi, Mary Beth. Hi, Laura. And hi, Nikki. This is Shelby, otherwise known as Shelby Cow on YouTube. I don't talk too much on Friday nights because usually my meds are kicking in about then. Thank you so much for all the entertainment and keeping me company when I'm not feeling so good and cheering me up. My question would be, is there a game that one of you really wants to play that the other one won't let you guys play online? And which one would it be and why? That would be all. And thanks again. Thanks. I love you guys so much. Thanks again. Have a great night.
That's so nice.
Oh, Shelby, hi. That's so nice.
Thank you, Shelby, for your voicemail.
And thank you for allowing us to be there with you in your living room while you're relaxing and trying to feel better.
For sure. So a game. Is there a game that either of us wants to play that the other won't let us play?
Well, I am terrified to play Pictionary, and it's the one you guys like the best. It's the most fun.
But you're good at it.
Mary Beth is an artist, and I can't draw anything, and it's just like mortifying to me.
But you're good at it.
But it ends up being fun. I mean, I have to hand you that.
Yeah.
So, but that's my story about it. I mean, that's what I would say, because used to, you know, anybody that wanted to play Pictionary would be like, nope, I'm not doing it.
I will say that sometimes it makes me nervous to play like Trivial Pursuit because it scares me that we're going to have a question that is like so blatantly obvious what the answer is, and I'll just be like, I don't know. So I don't feel like I'm as smart as you and Nikki are, and so it makes me feel weird sometimes to play Trivial Pursuit. If the category is something that I'm good at, I feel better about it. But Trivial Pursuit is hard.
Well, let me just tell you, Shelby, she's extremely picky about everything. So it's really hard. It's really hard to get Mary Beth to agree to a game.
That is not true. I'll say this.
I have to lay out like 3 or 4 games.
I'm the moral compass of this show. If it wasn't for me, this show would like just like snowball into some sort of debauchery.
Debauchery.
I have to keep us clean.
It's a nice show.
It is a nice show. I have to keep our noses clean.
This is a nice show.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we pretty much do everything we want to do.
Yeah.
We're pretty lenient with each other. I don't feel like, although I am kind of picky.
You're very picky. Come on.
Oh.
You are picky.
Well, now it makes me sound like I'm a terrible person.
And you are the moral compass, so you do veto any kind of naughtiness that happens.
Well, I have a marketing background. I can't do anything to tarnish our brand. It's very important.
We're so branded.
We're so branded. Shelby, thank you for calling. Feel free to call back again anytime and leave us another voicemail, and we'll answer that one too.
Yeah, this is so much fun.
Okay.
Who knew?
Who knew? Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Hey, Mary Beth and Laura, this is Sherry Marshburn, and I have a question for you. I am wondering if you have ever purchased and sold something before you got it home. So if you bought it at an estate sale and somebody saw it in your vehicle and wanted to buy it from you, has that ever happened? See you guys on Friday. Bye.
Thank you, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
Yay. So
That's a good question.
It is a great question.
I have a good answer.
I've tried to buy something from somebody
No.
at an auction.
No.
Yeah.
Because my story is going to be that I hate it when people do that.
Yeah. So do you remember the sale that we went to that had all the lady head vases?
Yes.
And we split up. You were outside bidding on lady head vases, and I had gone inside to bid on some glassware.
By the way, if you like lady head vases, you should look at that sale that we had.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a good video from that auction, though, did we?
I don't think so. I don't think I videoed there.
Okay. So we split up.
Yeah. You were outside. I went inside to bid on glassware. And this guy bought a box worth of stuff, but it had one thing in it that I wanted, that I was trying to bid for, but he ended up bidding more on the box than I would have for the whole thing. And anyway, I was like, how much do you want for whatever it was? I don't even remember now what it was. And he was...
I don't remember either.
He said some obnoxious number, like it was double or maybe even triple what retail would have been for the item. Like it wasn't even worth nearly what he said. And I was just like, no thanks. Who do you think I am? I should have said, do you even know who I am?
He probably is like me. He's probably like, that is so obnoxious. I'm not selling you this. And if I wanted you to have that, you would have let you have it.
Well, shit. It was just a little shitting thing. It wasn't even like it was really valuable. I just liked it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did ask once. So I don't think we've sold anything somewhere. Do you?
No, but do you remember the very first huge auction? Really, one of the first auctions that you went to with me ever. That's an early video, and we bought all that furniture for layman's, like thousands of dollars worth.
Yeah, for like nothing.
For nothing. I mean, the stuff was going so cheap. So somebody stopped me then, and wanted to buy something out of one of the boxes. And I mean, that's just my thing. I just say no because I can't think on the spot. I'm suspicious of why they want that one particular thing out of that whole box. And if I don't know about it, I'm like, nope.
Laura gets incredibly like standoffish, competitive, something. She's like a whole different person at auctions. It's like an entirely different person takes over. It cracks me up. Like she doesn't want to stand by anybody. If anybody stands by her, she's like, can you believe that person stood by me? I'm like, oh my gosh, Laura.
Okay, so in my defense.
Or like somebody will come in and Laura will be like, that person looks like they want what we want. They better not come over here and stand by us.
Well, in my defense, I've been doing this a really long time. And when you're in Paducah is small, and so people would know who I was. You know, it's that girl from Layman's. It's Joy's daughter. Look, it's Joy's daughter. Just see what she bids on that. And I'm just so paranoid about it that I can't take it. Because people, when they know that you're a dealer and stuff, I mean, just think about it now. Like if we were in a big group of all the thrifters and stuff that we know, and they knew who we were, they would be like, oh, if she's going to pay 10 for it, that means she's probably going to get 25 for it. I'm going to pay 20 for it. You know what I mean?
Right. So I got you.
Yeah.
But your personality when you're at a place like that, totally different than how you are normally.
Well, I'm very friendly. And so if you go in there and you're super friendly and stuff, people are going to talk to you. And like, number one, they will talk while you're trying to bid on something and you'll miss it. Number two,
Laura means business.
Number two, here's my really big pet peeve. They'll say, well, I'm going to bid on that blue vase over there. I was just, what do you think I should pay for that? You think I should pay, you think it's worth 75? I'm like drooling over this thing.
Laura's like, I don't know. Don't talk to me. That's when Laura grabbed me by the arm and say, we're moving. We're going to go sit over there.
See, so, because I can't say that. Like, I should be, brave enough to just say, I'm sorry, I don't talk to people.
I'm sorry, I don't talk to anybody. Ever.
At auctions. But no, instead, I'm like, I just do something silly and then turn around to Mary Beth and go, we're getting out of here.
It's kind of like at that estate sale. The lady behind us was like, what do you guys want in here?
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know. What do you want? And she goes, well, I really want these ceramic mushrooms. And she went on and on about these ceramic mushrooms. Well, then we're checking out of the estate sale. Laura's getting stuff out of her bag, and she pulls out these ceramic mushrooms. I was like, oh, you got those because that lady wanted them.
No.
That's not
true.
Laura claims that the lady wanted different ceramic mushrooms, but I think that Laura got those ceramic mushrooms in her mind, and she had to have them because the lady behind us wanted them.
Now, you know better than that. Like, I'm not vindictive. I don't, set out to get stuff that people want. Well, that's why I don't want you to tell me that. Like, that was funny, though, that you turned around and told her that, because it's true. You were like, I don't know, what do you want? I was like, yes, score, because I'm not telling you what I want in there. And the other people standing around us that we had made friends with in the line, they were the same. They were like, and then one girl goes, when people just get that look on their face, like, I can't believe she asked me that.
Yeah.
And one girl goes, well, you don't really ask people what they want at the estate sale in case you're wanting the same thing.
Anyway, that was funny. But we have many times, so like if we'll go to an estate sale or yard sale like on a Friday, we'll come show it on Flippin' and Sip and sell it before we actually make the video about it. So in some videos that you see us put out, we'll show something and we'll say sold, because we do get emails or comments a lot that say, how have you already sold this when it's you're just showing it? So we do come home a lot on Friday nights and sell things that we've just picked up.
True.
So, before we show them officially.
Thanks, Sherry.
That was a great question. All right. We got two more.
Hey, Laura and Mary Beth. It's Joni from Vintageous. I just had to leave this voice message because it's so funny. When you showed the two fairy lamps tonight, I went, oh, no. I bought two shades that look like the two Fenton ones that are like the one that's uranium. I bought them in a auction a couple years ago. I thought they were lampshades. So it's so funny. I just realized that they are fairy lamp toppers. Anyway, thanks for help IDing them. Bye now. Love you too.
That's funny.
We love you too, Joni.
Hey, Joni. So, yeah, we showed last week on Flippin' and Sippin' these two beautiful Persian medallion fairy lamps. Fenton fairy lamps. And so Joni had them and didn't realize what they were.
She had just the shades.
Yeah. I see things all the time that I don't know what they are.
Yeah, and that's the best, right? That's the part of the fun of watching these shows and these videos, because then you put two and two together.
One of my favorite things that we had in front of us, and I didn't know what it was, were those bee measuring cups.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were all like stacked into each other, and we were looking at them, and I was like, they look like little bees over there. I didn't know what they were. And then somebody in the comments was like, turn them over and stack them. And so when you turn them over and stack them, they like turn into like a beehive.
Do you realize that we have some of those in there?
Yeah.
It's missing one. So.
I know. But yeah. So I'm like thrilled when people tell me something that I don't know, because that's a lot.
Oh yeah.
The amount of things I don't know.
Oh yeah, me too. For instance, I bought that Persian medallion fairy lamp, but it was missing the third piece, the little clear ruffle piece, which really kind of makes the whole lamp.
Right.
And so that's a learning thing too. But I have one more story.
Oh.
From that particular sale. That was just last week, right? So last week, we always welcome people to email, if there's items that don't sell and they're watching back the video or whatever, or if we a lot of times we'll show a haul and then you can just email instead of having this sale right on the spot. So I was checking the email, the green, okay, we had 3 higher priced fairy lamps and those 2 Persian medallion ones didn't sell, but one of them, the other one did. So someone emailed in and said, do you still have the green uranium Persian medallion fairy lamp? If so, I'd like to buy it. And I was like, okay. So I was going through, well, it sold. Someone was just 5 minutes earlier than that email and it sold to them. But then, so when I was going back through and checking the emails again, that same person had emailed right back and said, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. I'm sorry, I can't purchase the uranium Persian medallion, which I was happy because it was already sold. But she's like, I can't purchase it because 10 minutes after I sent you that email, my mom called me and she couldn't wait another minute to tell me that she had bought me that fairy lamp. She said, I already had the blue one and she had bought me that uranium fairy lamp at an auction that day and was going to give it to me for Easter, but decided she just couldn't hold back any longer and needed to tell me. What are the odds?
That's crazy.
That she was 10 minutes away from having a double.
That's awesome.
So that was funny.
That's great. Awesome. Great job, everybody.
Thanks, Joni.
Thanks, Joni. We've got one more voicemail. You ready?
Yes.
Hi, this is Still Whisper saying, Home Co. Put it in your home. Just want to say I love you guys. Take care. Bye.
Steel Whisper, that might be my favorite voicemail ever.
Home Co.
Put it in your home. So last week on Flippin' and Sippin', I created a jingle for Home Co.
And then people were joining in the chat. Making the rhymes.
I think we made a few verses.
Yeah,
it was the jingle.
Hilarious.
Thank you, Steel Whisper. That made my day.
If we had known Steel Whisper was going to call that in, we could have gotten our little other verses out.
Oh, that's great. Laura, that was fun.
Steel Whisper, don't encourage her.
Yes, encourage me.
Silly.
It's fun. Okay, so we've got like 8 minutes left, 7 or 8 minutes left. If you want to talk about any current events, what's happening in the world?
Okay. Well, the current event that I am the most involved with at the moment is this Murdoch murder mysteries.
Oh, didn't that verdict just come out like today or yesterday or something?
Yes, the verdict came out yesterday. Spoiler alert. No, everybody knows. Anybody that's paying attention knows this already because it came out yesterday. So he was found guilty.
Yeah.
On both charges of murder for his wife and his son. A couple of other little charges that don't matter because, the murders carry life sentences or whatever. And then they had the sentencing today. And I have never really paid attention, I guess, or seen them show the actual sentencing part. And the judge gets to say whatever he wants to say. So at in a sentencing of this magnitude, I guess, the defense gets to say what they want to say. I mean, the prosecution starts. The prosecution gets to say what they want to say. Then they have victims' rights advocates. So they've been coaching all along and helping the, victims in the case with whatever mental health things that they need help with, or just, giving them what they have the right to do or see or say or whatever. And so the victims have that's their time to speak to the public or to the defendant or whatever. In this case, nobody wanted to say anything. And then the defendant gets a chance to say something. And then at the end, before handing out the sentence, the judge gets to say whatever they want to say. And wow. You should just go back and listen to the sentencing of that person. He really just laid it on the line. He's like, I didn't believe a word you said, ever. Nobody believed a word you said, ever. You've lied and been deceitful from the beginning. This has been years in the making.
Yikes.
I mean, he just went on and on. And I didn't ever picture a judge, because that's the whole point. The judge doesn't really have an opinion on what's happening. They just rule.
I guess he did.
According to the law. But at the
Or
end,
they did.
At
Whatever.
the end, they get to give their opinion. I just didn't really realize that. Did you know that?
No. That's crazy.
You don't seem very interested in this current event.
Here's the problem is I know absolutely nothing about it. I haven't followed it. I haven't read anything about it. I know nothing about it. So it's hard for me to feel invested.
So it's really odd in our society, right? How invested people get.
Yeah.
There's a podcast I was listening to, and it really, well, my mom has been having a hard time with different things. So I was trying to get into something that she was interested in for us to talk about, to take her mind off things. So she told me that's what she was kind of interested in following up on at night. So I looked up a couple of podcasts, and this one got me started and got me all interested. And lucky for me, it was almost at the end. But there was like one podcast a week, and there's like 90 podcasts or something.
Oh, wow.
In the history of this case. So it's been going on and on.
Goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm going to have to look into it.
But don't you think it's odd how interested people get in these big trials?
Yeah.
Like ever since OJ.
Yeah.
Ever since OJ, people have just been craving to get in the middle of another murder mystery.
Yeah.
You just aren't interested at all. Do you not like true crime? You don't like the true crime podcasts? You don't like, I mean, it's a hot topic.
I like documentaries, so I should probably watch the documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
That would probably pique my interest.
Well, and this pod, just to be honest, I know you don't like to just like sit around and watch court TV or whatever. But
like Judge Judy?
Yeah. But the podcasts that cover it are interesting because they'll just, they'll do like documentary style. They'll take the clips and then give you their opinions and what's happening and the backstory and the scoop and all that stuff.
We could do like a Judge Judy show.
Oh, that'd be great.
Like we could do court TV. Like we could get people to like, come in on the screen and we could like, decide people's fates.
Yeah, maybe it could be like thrift related.
Yes.
Like, did you actually give out fake numbers at an estate sale and expect for that to be upheld?
We of fatbirdfinds find you guilty. Fatbird finds you guilty. That's great.
That'd be fun.
All right, Laura. Well, we are right at about an hour, so
okay.
I'm going to say we wrap this up.
Let's do it.
So thank you for joining us on our first podcast back after Frankenstein. We really enjoyed reading the books. I think that was really a lot of fun. The problem with reading books is if it's not something that's in the public domain, if it's not something that's really, really old, you have to get permission from the publisher. We have tried to get permission from a publisher for a different book, and it's just sort of, there's a lot to it.
It's just a lot to it. They have all these specifications, and you can't read the whole book.
Right. You can only read like half of the book. And we weren't really interested in that because if we're going to do a book, we want to read the whole thing and talk about it. So the book thing didn't really work out, but hopefully this new format is going to work out and hopefully it'll reach, a bigger audience because I know not everybody is interested in the fiction that we would choose. So
yeah. So like at the end, you can do like a current event or, like we could do like a book review. Like not reading a book,
Yeah.
We could all decide a couple of weeks ahead of time.
Like a book report.
That we're going to talk about this certain book that's hot out.
Yeah.
And we could all read it on our own.
So in the comments.
And come back and talk about it.
In the comments below, let us know what current event you want us to talk about next week. And we'll touch on it and give you our opinions.
Also, if you are a TikTok fan, like Megan keeps me up to date on what her age group thinks is funny. And her For You page on TikTok or whatever has all these podcasts and that they take little TikTok excerpts out of, and they ask crazy questions. So if you want to send crazy questions in, so like tonight I was going to talk about it, but okay, here's an example. These guys were talking about, if you were trapped in a deserted mall, right? Big shopping mall, those deserted but all locked up, and you're locked in there. Do you think that you would survive? Would you rather try to survive with a 500-pound gorilla or 7 black mambas?
7 black mambas.
And I said gorilla. I would
No way.
See what I mean? It makes it funny.
I can't outrun a gorilla.
I know, but can you outrun a black mamba?
Well, no, but there's got to be something in that mall that I can like use as a sword or something.
A sword?
Yeah.
You could like use it as a sword for a gorilla.
No.
7 black mambas could be anywhere.
They could be anywhere, but I could like just go sit on a bench with my stick and just watch around me, and if a black mamba comes, I'll just shoo it away with a stick.
No,
it would just
run up and get you.
They're not gonna just come get me. They're gonna go hide somewhere. A gorilla's gonna come get me.
Well, he could just maybe like toss you aside and then be done with you.
If a gorilla tosses us aside, we're dead.
Not necessarily, but if a black mamba like plucks your eye out, you're dead. Or bites you like that, then you're dead. You're poisoned.
Yeah.
You don't have any way to recover.
This is ridiculous. I'm in a bad mood now. Everybody, make sure you give this video a like. When you like our videos, it helps us to get more promotion. It helps our video to be like promoted to other people. And so it really helps us out for our channel. If you're not subscribed to us, we would love for you to do that as well. It's absolutely free. Just hit that subscribe button, and that helps our channel grow as well.
And if you're just listening to us on the podcast, welcome. And we'd love to have you over and see us on YouTube anytime.
Yes.
Or see us in the chats on Friday nights.
That's right. Make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know about your black mamba / gorilla preference. You can leave us a question if you don't want to call us, but we would really like for you to call us and leave us a voicemail.
Yes.
Because I think that was a lot of fun.
Should I say that number one more time?
No, because it's in the description of the video.
Okay.
They can find it.
I'm going to memorize it for next time.
Are you?
Yes.
I don't remember it again. All right. If you want to leave us also a comment below and let us know what you want us to talk about next week when it comes to our current event portion, we'll do that as well.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Make sure you stay tuned to see what Fatbird finds next, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.